doing a Cannabis Capital conference, almost finishing up.
Yep.
Great day, and
Yep,
we're
very
here
good
with
day.
LGC Capital's John McMullen. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So please tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
Well, it's very straightforward. LGC Capital, it's trading on the TSX Venture under the symbol LG. We are an investment company that has a portfolio throughout the global markets. We own assets in Australia, Jamaica. We also have opportunities and ownerships and operations in Italy, Geneva, and also in, of course, Canada. We're not in the United States at this time. Until it's federally regulated, we will consider something. But in the meantime, we have over 450,000 square feet of plants in the ground. By 2020, excuse me, we're looking to having 2.1 million square feet. Yeah. We have a multitude, a catalog of products. For example, Easy Joint are one of our most recent partners that we entered into business with for 47% of their operation. Own 80 or control 85% of the CBD market in Italy. They have 11 stores and 400 plus locations where they sell cannabis-like products. They have a full mired portfolio of foods, tinctures, and buds. Same goes with our other partner in Geneva. We recently closed an acquisition of into 30% of Verity. Verity is actually based in Geneva, and they are selling pre-rolled cannabis light cigarettes. Yeah. And just for your viewers, cannabis light is low THC. Yeah. In Italy, it's 0.2%. In Geneva, it's 1%. Why? Because it then can be sold in tobacconist shops. Yeah. So between those two regions, we have 1,000 points of sale. And with our recent addition of management teams, such as hiring our colleague Remy, who's now our COO of 27 years at British American Tobacco, that's actually opening up more. He's going to be opening up more with his team and more locations throughout Europe. We believe the European market will grow faster than most markets out there. Canada is estimated at 10 billion. We're looking at almost 98 billion by 2025. There are over 700 million citizens throughout the EU. And that's a massive market to supply. So we're very proud of that. We have growing in Italy, we have growing in Geneva. We also have, I'm very proud to say we have an ownership of one of the largest Tier 3 operators in Jamaica called Global Canna Labs. It's based in Montego Bay. I just got an update today that they have over 11,000 plants in the ground today, and they have the ability to plant up to 2,000 under their license, 200,000, excuse me. And they are 10 minutes from downtown Montego Bay, and they're growing THC cannabis sun-grown products. It's absolutely spectacular.
You visited recently?
I've been to Jamaica a number of times. I'm actually proud to say I'm on the board of the company. I think they're going to make some major strides in 2019. And from LGC's perspective, being an investment company, we are in serious consideration to become an operational company by taking majority ownership in a number of the companies that we've already invested in.
So what makes Jamaica interesting to you?
What makes Jamaica interesting to me? Well, first of all, the culture of cannabis, the home of ganja, that is absolutely key. I think it is a globally recognized brand with the obvious reasons. Culture, history, religion, and then you look at what they can do medically, I think is absolutely spectacular. They are able to produce a high quality bud at a very reasonable, environmentally sound, like for instance, it's indoor-outdoor greenhouses and outdoor growing, 6 acres. Okay, that is a major win for Jamaica. Minister Shaw, the Minister of Agriculture, actually said the cannabis industry or the ganja industry is something that Jamaica cannot lose. And when you have that type of endorsement from the heads of government of those divisions, that gives stability and opportunity. And we are investing in domestic operations globally, and we are investing with Jamaicans, we're investing with Australians, we're investing with Italians, we're investing with obviously Canadians, and we're really excited where 2019 is going. We spent all of last year getting more assets, getting more production, having 450,000 square feet of plants in the ground, and we're actually having so many products on the shelves. It's our turn to go out and hit the market hard.
So you're a publicly traded company, you're making sizable investments into cannabis companies. If you had to pick 3 things that you look at when selecting a potential investment, what would those be?
I would say stability of the country you're working with. I also would say that you have to look at the banking opportunity as well in that stability, because if you can't bank, you can't do the business. That's why we're very happy with what we've done to date. I also say you have to invest in the people and the opportunity. And frankly, when you're looking at these cannabis operations, you look at the quality, for instance, of course we're going to back, like for instance, Australia, we backed that one because they became ultimately the only company to date in Australia that's able to grow domestic cannabis and sell it to the medical market. And it's open for export. That's an opportunity. To control 85% of the Italian market with Easy Joint, that's an opportunity. We look for things that actually are valued. We do a lot of due diligence on them. The exchanges does a lot of due diligence. And when we make a play, we really are proud of what we're doing. And these people become our partners. There are 12 people at LGC right now, but if you take the collection of companies that we've partnered and invested in, there are over 200 people worldwide working daily. It's pretty exciting. And cannabis is a global product, and it has to be brought globally.
So there you go. You say global, you say exporting.
Yes.
Is this a thing already?
A thing already in the export?
Like, for instance, you mentioned Australia has a lot of potential,
Absolutely.
to export cannabis. Are they exporting already?
And, they have the opportunity to export, and they will be updating the market shortly on their time frame for this year. If you look at the Oceania market, it can be potentially a $25 billion market, and I think that Little Green Pharma and their team there has done an exceptional job in the area, because the Office of Drug Control is a very, very stringent one, and Little Green Pharma has done an incredible job in getting to where they are today.
Are you eyeing the other geographies at all, whether that's Asia or Africa or South America or whatever?
That is something that we'll be updating the market with on a timely basis. I think that there are obviously a lot of opportunities out there, but my goal is to get, as I like to say, these companies up and running and rolling, and it's their time. And I can put their management teams up against any other LP out there, and I know we'll be successful.
So if you had to provide a few pieces of advice to an up-and-coming management team in cannabis, what would that be?
Dream big. Do what you need to do. Always be, as I would say, as I've said in other conferences and I said here today, everyone in the cannabis industry has to have a understanding that whatever they do, they have to do it legally and they have to do it properly, because we can never give any regulator in the world a reason to say no.
Or the satisfaction.
Or the
So you say dream big.
Yeah.
One of the biggest dreams you can have as a company is being publicly traded. So, in your experience, what's some of the things you've learned from being publicly traded, and some of the things mistakes that the others should avoid, right?
Well, I think it's really interesting. I was at a conference, and I was at another conference in Toronto, and I'll take words from a co-panelist that I was on, a panel I was on, and she was a lawyer, and she said that a lot of companies go too fast, too far, and they have a lot of holes, and those are things that stumble. So when you're going public, take the time, do it right, file everything, do everything, be responsible, be corporately responsible, because I look at our shareholders as clients. Because if they call me, like I'm always available to talk to a shareholder. And that's the other thing. When you're a public company, it is an opportunity to raise capital to build your business.
Yeah.
And if you look at how we've structured our deals with our partners, we do a cash and share component. So they become partners in LGC as we become partners in them. So our goals are aligned.
Great. Any other thoughts on LGC you'd want to share with a potential investor, someone who's looking at you to buy some shares? Think of a retail investor.
The individual investors, we have, and I have to say I'm very proud and very happy with our retail investors. They have been with us, a number of them have been with us for a very long time, and I'm very pleased to be working for them at the end of the day. When it comes down to LGC, if you're looking at a global operations, if you're looking for markets that may not be readily available to other companies, also I would say that when someone invests in LGC, you're investing in at the valuations that we got it, so you're actually getting involved at private equity levels, because these are private companies, and we're partnering with them. And as I said earlier, we would look to take over control of some of these.
So that's interesting. It's something that's pretty unusual. I mean, most investors, retail investors, do not have access to investing in private companies, and those usually provide huge opportunities and large returns. This has become an investment vehicle for the retail investor to take advantage of many times private placements or private equity in general.
Well, they're buying it. It's publicly traded, so when they buy the portfolio, they invest in the portfolio. They have to take into consideration, and I say to any investor who talks to me, if you're doing this on your own, do your due diligence.
Yeah.
And if you are working with an investment professional, talk to your investment professional.
Usually the latter one is recommended unless you have a bunch of time to go through SEC filings or equivalents and the TSXV or...
Well, we've gone through due diligence, we've done some financings, and we've had investment firms and strategic partners take a deep look at LGC, and they like what they see.
We do too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks
for joining us.
Thank you very much.
It's been great.
All the best.